Lake Nipissing, known by the Ojibwe peoples as Ginchby or Big Water, the large freshwater lake is the fourth largest lake in Ontario and spans 530 square kilometers. Every year, thousands of anglers travel from all around the world to fish on this northern Ontario lake. The prime catch? Northern pickerel or walleye. For hundreds of years, the First Nations peoples along Lake Nipissing have fished here, but there has never been a commercial fishery where tourists or local residents can purchase legally inspected pickerel. That changed this spring with the opening of the Old Chief Fish Market in North Bay, run by the Nipissing First Nation Fishery.
This year is the first time that we were able to sell our fish publicly. And thanks to Mr. Colios, who owns the Old Chief Commanda, he wanted a fish market. He wanted to be able to sell Lake Nipissing fish. Because when the tourists come to town and they order pickerel, they couldn't say that it was Lake Nipissing pickerel. And it was an historic time. That was early in the summer when the boat opened the fish market, and it was a proud day to be able to say now our rights are recognized, and now we can continue on with our traditional practices. And I know it's had a good spin-off for our fishermen, because they're getting a fairer rate for their catches. Some will be able to eventually draw employment insurance when the season is closed and the lake is frozen.
It took me 12 years to be able to get where we are today. So I worked with 3 different chiefs, and finally this became a reality. So I've been involved in all those years along. And the reason I was involved because I'm a very strong believer this is the best thing ever happened for North Bay, for the Lake Nipissing, for the native community, and for ourselves. Because I've been in North Bay 30 years in the restaurant business, and I was spending more time explaining to people why they come all the way from 1,000 miles away to fish for that fish, and we're not able to serve them in my restaurant the fish from Lake Nipissing. So therefore I was the happiest guy, and I'm very proud to be part of it, and now and before and in the future.
The fish market has opened up a good market for a lot of the fishermen, which gives them a revenue and almost like a job to a lot of them. It also makes sure that the fish populations will be sustained for years to come, and the future generations will have fish to catch. The market also creates a good opportunity for non-First Nation people, the ones that now have a chance to buy fish and eat Lake Nipissing fish, which are probably the best fish in Canada, the Lake Nipissing pickerel.
Yeah, it started back in October 2005. There was a community vote, and it was passed 70% in favor, so a strong support from the community. The community wants this, but there are still some individuals who are, I guess, unsure about the whole program, and it's just to get them to see what this is all about. Like, we're not attacking them, we're not going after people. We're trying to make sure that if Nipissing First Nation is going to have a commercial fishery, we have to make sure that it's going to be there in 20, 30 years from now. Like, we have young children coming up through the system that may want to be commercial fishermen in 20 years, and we have to, as a community, we have to make sure that that resource will be available to them during that time.
When we come back, we take a look into the science and the process behind the Nipissing First Nation fishery.